From haunting creatures residing under your bed to giant beasts of our worldly domain, we have a plethora of exciting, intriguing, and captivating videos that would cure your daily cravings of spooky, unresolved mysteries. So, grab your popcorn and come along on this roller coaster journey. Fear beneath the sheets. Imagine sleeping peacefully in your bed, and a strange intruder disturbs you from your sleep, leaving you baffled and haunted for the rest of your life. A quiet room filled with pitch-black darkness, a type of darkness that would add more silence to an already strange atmosphere. The video began with a man waking up to some unusual sounds from his deep sleep. Removing his blankets haphazardly, he began gawking at different corners of his room, and as soon as he panned away to his right, an obnoxious creature came to his welcome. This creature had the most terrifying appearance. A lurking shadow of death, a pitch-black darkness with satanic eyes, was gawking at that helpless man while slowly disappearing into the night, its sharp, pointed claws leaving imprints of its presence. Seeing this vicious scene of terror and horror, the man jumped out from his bed, breathing heavily as he attempted to run away from the room. A sight of terror that might have made you guys jump out of your beds, too. Strange imposter in the woods. Deep in the woods, a family found themselves in a strange situation when their usually friendly dog started barking intensely in the middle of the night. A deafening silence filled with intense howling made the house owners a little worried. They ran towards their front door to check the severity of the matter with torches in their hand. Meanwhile, the dog was still barking at the woods as if he had seen something peculiar and haunted. The couple began pointing their torchlight at the dense forest in front of their house. And to their amazement, they found small, glowing eyes roaming in the thick forest at this hour.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Where are they? They're blinking, y'all.
There's lots out there.
Are those coyotes?
I don't know, but they're there.
Yeah, those are coyotes.
Speculations began haunting them, as it was unusual to discover such an enigmatic creature in the middle of the night. However, to put an end to their worry, the creature revealed itself, and you won't believe it, guys. It was nothing but a big wild cow roaming and grazing through the woods. A burst of laughter broke in, and they heaved a sigh of relief as this poor creature could cause no harm to anyone.
There's something just sitting there like a cow. That's why his head was going up and down.
A wicked child. A ghost hunter set out on his other deadly venture. He chose a dilapidated house, torn and ruined brutally throughout its surroundings. His adventure began filming the wreckage of that seemingly haunted place. The air was filled with untamed voices, howls of wild beasts, and deadly shrieks of unannounced creatures, all turning into a satanic clamor. With his torchlight, he began hunting for its prized possession, and in no time his camera caught something unruly, something vicious. It was a haunted figure that almost looked like a child with demonic ears. With its long hair that set behind its elf-like ears, the eerie creature stood still for a while, unveiling his demonic presence in front of the camera, and then quickly hid behind the wreckage. The hunter followed him around the house, but all in vain. It looked as if the haunted creature wasn't shy of the camera, and it only wanted to cast his satanic presence over the hunter. Legendary sea monster. A beautiful lake situated in between the frosty mountains, a breathtaking sight, and indeed a perfect travel destination spot. But can you believe that this lake might be home to fantasy creatures and spooky monsters? It all began when a man started to record this alluring scenery in search of a legendary creature that only had its existence limited to books. However, some had claimed that they had witnessed that sea-dwelling beast. After some time, unruly ripples close to the shore caught his attention. The man diverted his lens toward that disturbance in the glistening water. He zoomed over a sizable black tail, making all those ripples in the lake. The man claimed it to be the caudal fin of the legendary kraken. According to the sources, the kraken is a sea monster of humongous stature, and those black flaps documented in the video looked nothing like the kraken's huge fins. Thus, it would not be appropriate to call it a kraken sighting, as it could be a giant or some other codfish swimming across the lake.
Puddle. What the hell's that? What the hell's that? There's something in the water, guys. Can you guys see that?
Bigfoot Encounter. An adventurous hiking venture turned into an eye-opening discovery that raised many speculations about the presence of this giant forest beast. The video began with a man recording the captivating nature of a dense forest, laden with towering trees, and its floor covered with thickly grown moss, almost giving it a carpeted appearance. Among this enchanting scenery, a black shadow peeked into the frame. It had a huge stature, like a giant covered in thick fur and long hair all over its body. The giant gradually walked toward the cameraman with all its glory and magnificence, defying the tallness of everything in front of it. With a sudden glance into the camera lens, the Bigfoot walked away from the cameraman, ignoring his invasion in its territory completely. However, this video doesn't provide any solid evidence to Bigfoot's presence, and these wild and unruly creatures won't spare human invasions in their habitat. Glaring eyes. Trail cam footage has been making headlines. However, the spotlight isn't on the animal captured by it, but on an enigmatic presence that the unblinking lens inadvertently revealed. In the vast fields of the forest, amidst the lurking darkness, an innocent deer could be seen grazing peacefully through the meadows. I know nothing exciting, but here comes the spooky part. If you focus on the left side of the footage, you'll see two large glowing eyes glaring through the darkness of the forest. These giant eyes kept revealing themselves for quite a few minutes, and then they suddenly disappeared into the darkness. This strange footage raised many questions about the creature hiding behind woods. Some claimed it to be Bigfoot's glowing eyes, whereas some pointed it as a forest curse dwelling through the fields. What do you guys think? Do let us know about your theories. A waddling creature. A driver recording his journey through the wilderness of the forest came across something peculiar and strange on his way. Through the bumpy road, in the middle of the forest, a moving object at the side of the road playing with the puddle caught the driver's attention from afar. Hence, on coming close to that creature, the driver zoomed in, and as soon as it began driving across it, this dark-colored creature swiftly sprinted into the woods with a dangling gait. Unaware of the nature of this peculiar animal, the driver kept recording it while driving past it. Now, coming to the question of the nature of this wild animal, if you look closely at it, you'd find white stripes across it, making it look like a wild skunk and not an eerie creature. The skunk, upon seeing the driver, ran into the woods as they are protective of their surroundings. Cursed photographs. Imagine taking pictures while hiking through a thick forest only to find a haunted spirit peeking through your photographs. Scary, isn't it? A similar series of events happened with a couple when they were enjoying their hiking venture in the mountain forest, unaware of the presence of spooky spirits wandering around. Upon looking through their camera roll, they were astonished to spot a strange presence behind them. At first, it seemed like a bird, captured while taking its flight, but as they zoomed over, a wave of fear ran across their body as there was a strange figure with a clear face peeking from the trees. A demonic presence, a satanic face trying to get in the frame of a happy couple-like curse. The couple ran checks over this footage. However, this case remained unresolved as the authorities were unable to locate any evidence regarding this strange encounter. Ominous nightmare. When your eyes suddenly open in the middle of the night, a normal person would usually encounter darkness and peaceful silence surrounding him, wouldn't he? But there are some people who would come across cursed creatures with their dreadful sight and voices haunting the surroundings if their eyes accidentally opened at a specific time, or you can say 3 a.m. In this video, a girl encounters a goat coming from behind the curtain. At first glance, it appears normal, but as the goat opens its mouth, waves of horrific sound reach the eardrums, making one hold his ear. The girl shifts her camera towards the clock, showing the dreadful time of the day, 3 a.m. In the meantime, the goat's shrieking voice, accompanied by the black tentacles coming out of its mouth and glowing eyes, can be seen clearly in the darkness of the night. This scene is truly terrifying for one sight, but the vlogger seems accustomed to this behavior of the goat and calmly closes the door on the goat, completely shutting it out of the room. The Creature of Romania. This peculiar video began with a man recording himself while talking about the unusual sighting that occurred in the Romanian zoo. The man emphasized that such a creature had never been sighted anywhere in the world. However, it is enchained here at the Romanian zoo constraints. After the initial warning, the man entered a dark hall filled with other tourists and visitors. Among these usual voices, strange howls and cries were heard, which kept getting louder as the man moved further into the hall. At last, in the end, a colossal cage was seen with a dwarf-like creature with a distorted face and features, amusing the curious tourists with his unusual appearance and distinct howls. Wild Intruder. Who would have imagined that, when you clocked out of your job, the next time you see your workplace, it would be in the coverage of a news channel portraying a horrific scene of a wild bear entering your workplace? It is a heinous sight, isn't it? That exact scene was recorded in the camera footage of Aspen Resort, where a wild bear was wandering around in the resort's kitchen. It is an abominable situation one must never encounter, but sometimes luck is not on your side. This luck ran short on the night guard of Aspen Resort, where he met the rile-up bear after hearing the rustle and bustle in the kitchen. At first, the security didn't come face-to-face with the bear, but as he slowly inspected further into the blind spot of camera footage, the wild bear flung out his sharp claws toward the poor security guard and tossed the poor guy at a feet distance, which probably was best as he sprung out of the door, while the bear also finds this opportunity to escape from that place. A heroic day. A daunting encounter took place on the streets of British Columbia, Canada, where a bear came in a face-to-face meeting with a little boy strolling along with his cycle in front of his front door. Upon seeing the boy, the bear walked gradually toward him in his quest to sniff the young lad. However, in this spine-tingling situation, the boy didn't lose his calm. Instead, he kept still and stared at the bear as he sprinted towards him. When there were only a few inches left between the kid and the bear, a man from behind plunged into the scene like an angel from the sky. With his arm wide open, he began hushing away the bear. Luckily, this trick worked, and the bear ran towards the car and hid behind it. The man still kept looking for the bear in an attempt to scare him away, and his efforts bore fruit as the bear quickly walked away from the neighborhood. Overall, it was an act of courage by both. The young boy kept his nerves under control, while the man courageously took charge of the situation and saved the day. Parental Guardians. The forest is home to hundreds of mysterious creatures, and one such creature caught our attention while cradling its baby through a thick jungle. A spooky encounter occurred when a hiker recorded an inhumane beast wandering through the woods. A giant beast, draped in a dark attire from head to toe with all its magnificence, peeped through a huge rock. A bit cautious about his surroundings, it quickly passed through the field while glancing meekly at the camera lens. It was strange for such a wild beast to be observant about his surroundings, almost as if he was protective of something. Soon, this enigma unveiled itself when the gorilla-like creature came out of the bushes, holding its baby and then again disappearing into the woods. This incident reflects light upon the protective nature of a parent, despite its dreadful instincts and the presence of such enigmatic creatures in our worldly domain. Fields of Fear? On a dreadful night, full of terror and deafening silence, in the middle of vast fields, a man found himself in a demonic ritual. It all began with a man wandering through vast fields with his torchlight, searching for his two faithful dogs. Following the howls of his dogs, he finally found one of his dogs barking towards a satanic creature, a demon with the head of a goat, cradling his numb dog and walking away. The moment he shifted his attention from his barking dog to that satanic figure, his other dog was taken into possession by another satanic creature, leaving the man breathing heavily in this moment of terror and angst. Skinwalker Ghost. The car dash cam footage shows a white figure crossing the road, moving with a strange, almost animalistic gait. As it comes closer to the car, the figure's true nature becomes clear. It's a skinwalker. The skinwalker's skin is matted and unkempt, and its limbs are too long and thin to be human. As the car drives away, the skinwalker disappears into the darkness. The driver is left feeling shaken and unsure of what they just witnessed. Skinwalkers are said to be powerful and dangerous shapeshifters in Navajo culture, able to take on the form of any animal they desire. Crossing paths with one is considered a bad omen, and many people believe that seeing a skinwalker can bring misfortune or death. The vicious rattlesnake. From the deadliest creatures of the outer realm to the wild, slithering animals of our domain, the world is full of vicious encounters. Just like in this video, a man showcases the true nature of a rattlesnake. With its intense buzzing sounds, the rattlesnake was generating a sense of fear in its surroundings. Unafraid of the vicious trap of the rattlesnake, the man kept recording the dreadful species. Its glaring eyes remained fixated on the intrusive man. The apparent wrath in his cold eyes was enough to devour any dwelling prey, and its continuous rattling tail was enough to haunt nearby creatures. Aware of the lurking danger, the daring man, being cautious of actions, kept recording this reptile as he was fascinated by its constant rattles. Satan in the bushes. In the vast fields far from human neighborhoods, and in the close vicinity of the dense forest, a man began recording some strange movements. Behind the withered bushes around a tall electricity tower, something peculiar and a shadowy figure appeared. As the observer recorded the video from afar, hence only it was impossible to gauge the size of this eerie creature. Only two sharp horns with pointed round tips are visible in the video, giving it the appearance of some bull or a mountain goat. Nonetheless, the creature looked creepy in its attire, almost like a cursed satanic goat peeking through the bushes. Creepy settlement under the bridge. In this blurred video of an underbridge settlement surrounded by thick-grown vines and wild bushes, an observer witnessed something weird. To find out the cause of this unusual activity, the man hops on a journey to find out the truth about these vague movements. As soon as he went under the bridge, heaps of wild twigs and branches welcomed him, all hiding the entrance of a long bridge, giving it an appearance of ambush to protect the unknown. The man was ready to make his first step into that horrid place, but soon rushed home because something supernatural had made him lose control. As soon as he saw that apparition, he was caught off guard and stumbled on his shaking steps. But within a second, he gathered courage and ran away. living footballs. Have you ever seen a giant rolling ball swaying across the woods? Can you believe that these giant balls are alive? They are these fascinating creatures that can compact themselves in a ball to travel greater distances. It is a rare sight to witness armadillos in their unpacked form. However, a trail cam was successful enough to capture these creatures in its memory. Amidst the dark jungles, surrounded by sky-high trees, a cute little animal gradually marches forward with a slow gait in open fields. This adorable species only appeared briefly with its tiny feet tiptoeing through the grassy areas and then disappeared into the woods. Vicious werewolf. A trail cam recording captures a spine-chilling moment of a werewolf lurking behind the bushes. The eerie footage shows the creature's silhouette pacing back and forth before it suddenly stops and looks directly at the camera. Its glowing eyes reflect the light from the camera, and it seems as if the werewolf was aware of its presence being recorded. The creature's movements are swift and sudden, and after a few minutes it becomes agitated and disturbs the camera, causing the recording to end abruptly. This unsettling footage will leave viewers with goosebumps and questioning the existence of these mythical creatures. Lion's Feast. Recorded by a helpless tourist, this video is enough to send shivers down your spine as you question the unpredictability of a human's mortal being. Who could have thought that a fun adventure at a safari park could turn into a life-ending trauma, a horrific incident that could devour your loved ones' lives? The video began with an older man strolling through the open safari fields and into the lion's den. A daring move, isn't it? And this tiny mistake cost that man his life. Triggered by the sudden intrusion into its land, the lion sprinted towards the old man. Unfortunately, the old man, due to his lean body, couldn't keep up pace with the lurking danger. Hence, the lion seized him the moment he was about to step into his safe zone and dragged him away towards his old hiding. There, he devoured him into sizable bites, with cries of help and shrieks of helplessness echoing through the safari.
Oh my God! Somebody help, please!
Please get a gun!
Hunting gone wrong. A hunter holding his gun upright, pointing at its aim, was breathing heavily in a dense forest filled with vicious creatures and deadly beasts. With shaking hands, he kept walking towards thick bushes. To end our curiosities, a giant grizzly bear plunged out of the bushes, slowly made its way toward the man, and then hid again behind dense foliage. One must have thought that the hunter could quickly escape this terrible situation had he used his gun correctly. But there's more to the scene as another grizzly bear cub pops from a bush. According to the hunter, there were 3 cubs with their mother bear. Thus, it would have been inhumane for him to shoot her, as the mother was being protective of his kids. An unusual friendship. What is more innocent and purer than the friendship between a human and an animal? It seems like there isn't any. A man gently opens his door to welcome his animal friend with a sweet and comforting voice, calling it Buddy.
Buddy.
To have an evening coffee or beverage at the door pavement with his doe-eyed deer friend. An adorable deer swiftly reacts, comes in the direction of the familiar voice, and enters the old man-lit house where his human friend offers him a snack or two. The doe-eyed deer munches on the snack dearly, and this scene warms one's heart.
What's up, dude?
The purity of this scene is unmatched and unparalleled. Enigmatic encounter in forest. Who doesn't like to stroll in the morning, breathing in the fresh air? This type of exercise is best for relaxing one's mind and removing any negative thoughts. But during this peaceful stroll, suddenly, an eerie presence engulfs this moment of peace. This feeling was felt by an individual peacefully walking on a track surrounded by dense forest. This individual slowly pans out his camera towards the dense forest. This individual sees nothing but plants of different species portraying their colors. But as he shifts his camera in a particular space, at first, it appeared as a blackish shadow. But as the camera zoomed in, two eyes with a blackish hue stared back at it, making this phenomenal encounter a thrilling sight, enough to keep one awake for days. The Wild Lioness. In the stillness of the jungle, the hunter came with the thought to hunt an elk and mentally prepared himself for all the possible situations, but none prepared him for a sudden encounter with a savage beast. The camera recording began with the hunter getting shocked by the sudden entry of the lioness. He aimed his Glock 27 at the lioness, who was dangerously close to him.
Get back.
The moment the lioness takes one step more, the hunter shoots at it, and the lioness moves backward. The frightened man shot again to scare it out, and surprisingly, it worked because after the second shot, the lioness stared down at the hunter for a while, and then left in the opposite direction while the frightened man shakily lowered the gun. Giraffe meets a baby deer. In the enigmatic embrace of the savannah, a towering giraffe stood sturdy, with its majestic stature casting long shadows, its curious eyes fixated on a delicate sight, a fawn, its lean legs barely able to support its own weight, nestled amongst the bumpy surface of emerald foliage. The mother giraffe is confused by the height difference. It inspects the baby deer, sniffs it, and lowers its neck to wonder how this tiny being can coexist in the same frame as gigantic creatures like us. But as the vehicle approaches, the baby deer runs out of the vicinity of the giraffe. Silent watchers. Amidst the darkness, there lie untamed creatures that wander through the fields unannounced only to curse the species from the real world. In such darkness, a trail camera was set up in the bushes to record the eerie movements throughout the night. A cloak of vivid smog prevailed in front of the lens, adding more terror to an already haunted atmosphere. A minor disturbance soon turned into a major blow when something unknown tried to move the trail cam, and it tumbled down suddenly in an isolated forest. What possibly could have done that? A gust of wind or a horrid creature? Let us know in the comments. Yahoos. Most of you must have heard about the strange creatures called Yahoos mentioned in the Gulliver Travels, but who could have thought that these creatures would jump out of the fantasy world into our worldly realm? For instance, in this video, a small, human-like creature is seen hopping through the woods, cautious about its perilous surroundings. Having no similarity to human dwarfs, due to his distinct head and long pointed ears, this creature holds a distinct uniqueness. Draped in dried leaves, this eerie being paved its way in front of the camera, only to disappear in a swift second. However, this video isn't enough to provide a solid testament to its presence, as it could be an AI-generated animation. Jamaican Mermaid. Do you believe in mermaids? If not, then this video will baffle you out of your wits as it captures one of the most wanted enchanted creatures of the fantasy world. It all began when two men were exploring through a river surrounded by thick mangroves in Jamaica. They were casually gossiping around, capturing the essence of nature, recording the glistening water of the river. And then something took them by surprise. A peculiar thing was hiding behind a giant rock, and as soon as they shifted their camera toward it took a sudden dive into the river. The camera kept recording these unusual movements through the shallow, and suddenly the creature plunged out of the river, revealing its lustrous hair. This incident terrified them to their core, and they ran away without having the proper footage of the Jamaican Mermaid. Alligator Ambush. Notorious for its lethal death rolls, a giant alligator was spotted by the authorities in some water park, wandering through the fields unattended. 2 men were sent by the authorities to handle this savage beast. They tried to capture it by blindfolding his eyes using a white cloth. This scheme didn't go according to the plan, and the man who was all set to grab his tail from behind fell into the alligator's trap. The moment he tried to have hold of his tail, the alligator snapped at him, grabbed him by his shirt, and bit his hand. Though the grip was loose, the man managed to escape the wrath of this unruly beast. Skinwalkers. Imagine vlogging deep in the woods on a foggy day only to gain the attention of a vicious, spooky creature. The video began with a boy talking about an excellent hiding spot, or a base that he made with his cousin.
I just wanted to show you guys my cool base that I made a while ago with my cousin.
He mentioned all the things surrounding his base camp, the fencing, and the unusual chair placements, not going to lie. The children seemed quite happy about his small hiding in the forest. Suddenly, while he was busy describing his base camp, he heard a strange sound. The camera quickly shifted towards the abandoned woods. At first, the boy thought it was some wild cow who lost his way, but within a few seconds, he was astonished to witness a white, slender creature running towards him at full speed. However, the boy managed to escape from this daring encounter.
Oh, frick!
Halloween nightmares. Let us dive back into spooky roadside incidents where spirits haunt you out of your wits and fear grabs you by your collar, leaving you in inexplicable situations. One such roadside incident occurred when a man was driving through a quiet road in the dark, and upon driving, he was met by an eerie creature on the side of it. To our astonishment, a very visible man came out of nowhere. He had the body of a man, but his face seemed distorted or burnt. In general, he had a very scary appearance, and trust me guys, this wasn't the only thing spooky about him. As soon as the driver moved past him, he started following the car almost like a cursed spirit. However, this can also be a Halloween prank. What do you guys think? Night falls. Night, a time brimmed with starry sky and dreamy world, but at the same time, it's full of terrors, a breeding time for savage creatures, an awakening of creepy spirits that circles throughout the sphere. Such a spooky creature was caught in the backyard of a house where 2 lads were having drinks and conversing casually, but suddenly one of them noticed a strange presence. An enigmatic creature raised from the darkness with its vast, slender, bony legs that could easily cover more than a meter per step. As soon as this creature came into clear sight, the 2 individuals sprung out of their chair, throwing their beer in utter terror and fright. However, this inhumane creature didn't care about the sudden outburst and sprinted away from them. Eyes of the unknown. In the wilderness of an abandoned forest, a young man set out on an adventurous journey to explore the mystique nature of the enchanted jungle. Within a few seconds, he was captivated by an enthralling animal. As the camera focused onto that creature, it became still moment in a relatively sparse forest. At first glance, it appeared like an animal was protruding from the fallen log, but as it zoomed in, it seemed like a whitewashed skull with holes dogged in it. These holes appear to be black orbs of something entirely inhumane, looking dead straight into the camera. This video raised speculations about the credibility of such mystique creatures in our natural world. Bigfoot's menace. Mythical creatures are usually imagined as symbols, guardians, and breathtaking figures in folklore. But among this visual splendor, there are other creatures so hideous and horrific that one wants to run away as far as possible. In the dimly lit security footage, an astonishing and creepy scene unfolds, where a figure in the rear view resembling the legendary Bigfoot can be seen throwing a heavy rock onto the nearby skunk, probably unaware of the terrific presence near him. The stone arcs through the air, narrowly missing its target. Startled by the sudden attack, the skunk darts away quickly. The footage captures a truly extraordinary moment, offering a horrific glimpse of such a creature. The forest secret. In a quiet and peaceful forest, far down from the noise and rush of people, a secret problem was affecting the safety of some hens living there. Being dangerous was sneaking in the dark, putting the hens at danger. The forest had always been a safe place for these birds, but one by one they were fading without anyone knowing why. To fence the hens, someone who looked out about them decided to take action. They set up a clever trap in the resort of catching the mysterious beast responsible for the hens' losses. They placed delicious grains and seeds inside the trap to attract the unknown violator. To catch this mysterious troublemaker in the act, the smart person initiated small alert cameras each around the forest. These little cameras were ready to record any wrongdoing by the offender. The forest now turned into a platform, with the trap and cameras acting as tools to bring justice. The charge to cover the hens had begun, and the entire forest was eager to break the enigma that had been bothering it. Tara's wildlife. Once upon a time, in a wild and lush forest, there lived an animal named Tara. Tara was a furry and nimble beast with a long tail. Tara was a true forest discoverer. With sharp claws and keen senses, it could climb trees and run through the green with ease. Tara's life in the wildlife was full of adventures. It would hunt for delicious treats like rodents and fruits, always on the lookout for an appetizing mess. Occasionally, it would indeed swim in the clear canals to catch fish. Tara had a family too. They would play together, chase each other through the trees, and educate the immature Taras the ways of the forest. Their home was a cozy den hidden amidst the trees, safe from utmost wolves. Tara's wildlife world was a thrilling and beautiful place, full of surprises, where it thrived as a clever and curious animal, a true master of the forest. The Mysterious Encounter. Once upon a time, there was a man who decided to set up a special camera deep in the quiet, mysterious forest. His plan was to capture movie of the wild creatures that wandered the forest, hoping to see being amazing. The first picture he took flashed a beautiful deer, its gentle eyes looking right at the camera. The man was thrilled with his first shot, allowing he'd succeeded in his operation. But when he checked the other picture, his excitement turned to fear. Rather of a wild creature, the photograph revealed being creepy and unsettling. It looked like a creepy, shadowy figure of a man, or perhaps indeed a police officer wandering in the timber. The man could not believe his eyes, and a tremble ran down his spine. The forest, once a place of wonder, now held a secret that transferred chills down his spine, and he knew he'd stumbled upon being far more mysterious than he ever imagined. The Mysterious White Ball. One dark and quiet night, a trail camera placed in front of a house managed to catch existent truly mysterious. The camera's lens captured a strange, glowing white ball floating through the night sky. It moved with a creepy grace, nearly like a ghostly sphere. The sight was both alluring and puzzling, leaving the curious homeowner and anyone who saw the footage wondering about its origin and purpose. As the footage played out, it appeared as though the spiritual ball was on its own secret trip, gliding through the air in a way that defied explanation. The night's blanket added an air of secret, making it look truly more paranormal. Could it have been a slapdash balloon, a rare natural miracle, or being beyond our understanding? The enigmatic ball's appearance left the spectators with a sense of wonder and a touch of confusion as they pondered the secrets of the night sky. The Nightly Search for Mothman. On a dark and spooky night, a group of courageous investigators set out on a thrilling adventure to find the mysterious beast known as Mothman. Armed with flashlights and a sense of curiosity, they ventured into the creepy forest, guided only by the faint light of the moon. As they shoveled deeper into the dark, their hearts pounded with both excitement and fear. Every rustling flake and hooting owl transferred shakes down their spines, but their determination held them concerned. They participated tales of Mothman's creepy scrapes, which only fueled their search. Yet the slippery Mothman remained one step ahead, playing a clever game of hide and seek. The investigators chased after flashcasts and creepy sounds, but each time, Mothman sounded to disappear into the night.
What was that? I heard something. What was that? I heard something.
The night's adventure, full of expectation and suspension, left the investigators with a deeper puzzle to break, realizing that some secrets are best left to the imagination, hidden in the deep discipline of the night.
You're lighting it up like the 4th of July. Right.
Forest fight. As the chopper camera drifted above the thick forest, it stumbled upon a weird and unsettling scene. The lens revealed a group of beings carrying strangely, moving through the trees as though they were being watched. The atmosphere was tense, and a feeling of fear gripped the air. Out of the blue, one of the individualities pulled out a defense and fired a shot. The blaring sound shattered the stillness of the forest land, transferring chills down the spine. It was as if a suspensor movie had come to life. The chopper camera captured this unforeseen turn of events, making the observer feel as if they were right there, witnessing the chilly scene firsthand. The question that dallied in the air was, who were these mysterious people, and why were they in the timber? The movie, such like drama unfolding before the lens, left an unforgettable mark on those who saw it, reminding them of the creepy mystifications that nature can hide. The Bear Encounter. Once upon a time, there was a man who had a big drilling machine. He wanted to dig a deep hole in the ground. He allowed it was a fine day for drilling, so he started up the machine. The machine roared to life and he began drilling into the earth. But just when he allowed effects were going well, being sudden occurred. Out of nowhere, a huge black bear surfaced from beneath the ground. The man was hugely surprised and afraid. The bear had been resting there, and the drilling had woken it up. The bear's big dark eyes goggled at the man and they both set for a moment. The man slowed back down from his noisy machine, giving the bear some space. With a rumble, the bear raved and slow fell back into the hole it came from. The man learned a precious reading that day: always be careful when you are digging into the earth, as you know who might be resting below. Battle between polar bear and the dog. In the icy forest of the far north, a fierce battle unfolded between a polar bear and a husky doggy. The forest was silent, except for the soft crunch of snow under their paws. The polar bear, massive and white as the snow itself, stood like a frozen mountain, its muscles tightened. On the other side, the husky, with its polished and graceful frame, barked bravely, ready to cover its home. The bear swiped its powerful paw at the husky, but the doggy was quick and danced out of the way. The husky nipped at the bear's heels, trying to keep its distance. It was a formula of survival in the chilly nature. The bear roared, and the husky's bark echoed through the frozen geography. For hours, the two foes circled each other, testing their strength and determination. In the end, the husky's cunning and speed exceeded the bear's brute force. With one final jump, the husky landed a heavy bite on the bear's nose, causing it to retreat with a powerful roar. Brave bears escape. Once upon a time, in a thick, wild forest, there was a big, crabby bear who lived in a comfortable backyard. The bear had grown tired of the small space and feared for the freedom of the forest beyond his barrier. One sunny morning, as Benny was stretching his massive paws, he got an idea. He decided it was time to break free from his backyard confinement. With a heavy cause and a blasting crash, Bear knocked down the barrier that had held him caught for so long. It was a sight to behold as the awkward planks splintered and flew far and wide. Hyperactive and a little bit horrified, Bear made a run for it, charging into the lush green forest. He felt the cool breath on his fur, heard the chittering of the birds, and knew he was eventually home where he belonged. Police captured the mischievous bear. Once upon a time, in a quiet little city, being strange was passing. People woke up to find their cars all knocked up. And it was not because of a big storm. No, there was a bear on the loose, and it sounded to have a thing for cars. The furry troublemaker would come out at night and start poking around, breaking windows, and scratching the clear paint. The townsfolk were getting enough worried about their damaged cars, and they knew they had to do being, so they called the police. The courageous officers set up a plan to catch the bear red-handed. They put out some tempting snacks and left a trail of honey leading to a big net. One night, the bear took the lure, following the appetizing scent straight into the trap. The net fell and the bear was caught. The people cheered for their heroic police, who had eventually put an end to the car-stranding bear's darkness tricks. The city could sleep peacefully, formerly more, knowing their cars were safe from the mischievous bear's paw prints. Creepy crawlies captured on trail cam. In the quiet darkness of the forest, hidden from natural eyes, being mysterious was passing. Trail cameras, like silent guardians, were landing the secrets of the night. These were not ordinary night scenes. They were filled with creepy crawlies that made your skin twinge with conspiracy and shivers. Imagine a moonlit night, where black stepped and leaves whispered secrets. Suddenly, the trail camera caught a spider spinning its intricate web, glistering with dew. The creepy silence was broken by the soft fluttering of nightsticks, captured flight in their search for prey. The camera's lens revealed slippery critters like owls, their eyes flashing like burning coals, and a curious raccoon scavenging for night snacks. As the night wore on, the trail camera's observant eye disclosed a world, many ever confirmation. It was a spine-clinking trip into the quiet nightly life of the forest, where creepy crawlies took center stage, and the darkness held its secrets nearby. Deer's day and night, wandering. Once upon a time, in a big wild forest, there was a graceful deer. This deer, a beautiful animal with soft brown fur and gentle eyes, wandered the woods day and night. Every morning it would wake up to the cheerful songs of chirping birds and the warm beams of the sun. During the day, the deer would explore the lush green forest, nibbling on the sweet, sensitive leaves and sipping from the clear, cool canals that crossed the woods. The deer was always careful, keeping an observance out for the sounds of peril and looking out for its fellow forest familiars. As the sun would set, painting the sky with vibrant colors, the deer's adventure continued. The night brought a different kind of magic to the forest. The deer would foot still, guided by the steely moonlight and the stars' gentle beat, searching for food and sharing secrets with the nightly animals. In this alluring timber, the deer's wandering was an everlasting tale of coherence and wonder, day and night, in the heart of nature's grab. Eerie encounters. One dark and stormy night, our security cameras recorded being truly crazy. As the rain cast the windows, the camera's alert eyes caught a series of unexplained, creepy events that transferred shivers down our spines. First, a mysterious figure appeared in the backyard, masked in dark. It moved like a ghostly wisp, making no sound and leaving no trace. We watched in unbelief as it wandered through the theater, dissolving into thin air. Next, camera picked up unaccountable spheres of light floating through the living room. These immaterial spheres danced and flicked, illustrating the dark corners of the way before dissolving without a trail. To make effects indeed creepier, a strange, unearthly noise sounded through the empty hallway. Transferring the family into a fury. The camera captured their alarmed responses as they goggled at the unnoticeable intruder. These unexplained, weird circumstances continued to hang security footage, leaving us both beat and scarified with no reasonable explanation in sight. Deer's midnight wandering. Once upon a time, in a peaceful country, two curious deer named Daisy and Danny embarked on a moonlit adventure. The estate was covered in darkness, with the only source of light being the steely gleam of the full moon. As they ventured through the open fields, the high field whispered secrets to them, influencing gently in the cool breath. With their nimble legs, they gracefully bounded over small hedges and crawled around sleepy farm creatures. The night was alive with the alluring coherence of justices and the distant scream of an owl. Their eyes sparkled with wonder as they discovered the foamy dew on the field, reflecting the moonlight like 1,000 bitty stars. They nibbled on tender shoots of grass, savoring the darkness snack. The world appeared different at night, mysterious and full of magic. Side by side, the two deer wandered the estates, their hearts filled with the joy of exploring the quiet country under the observant eye of the moon. Huge ape caught on cam. In a deep, mysterious forest far down from the rush and bustle of natural life, a retired secret unfolded. One day, a stir-actuated trail camera captured being extraordinary. The footage was blurry, like trying to see through a misty window, but the sight was unmistakable. A colossal black ape or such-like animal. Its massive form moved gracefully through the thick leafage, its long, dark hair rustling in the wind. The timber sounded to hold its breath as this mysterious being passed by. With each step, it left behind a trail of wonder and admiration, alluring anyone who came off upon the footage. The critter's eyes were hidden in the dark, adding to the conspiracy and riddle enclosing it. This fugitive monster, being on the circumferences of our understanding, torched the imagination of those who watched the footage, leaving them with a sense of wonder. The mysterious coyote. In the Serene mountains covered in snow, a camera captured an incredibly rare sight. It was a moment like no other, an uncommon sight of a mysterious creature. Instead of its typical haunting and wandering, a coyote was spotted doing something quite out of the ordinary. It was perched high up in a tree, munching on berries. This unusual scene left everyone astonished and perplexed. After all, coyotes aren't known for climbing trees, and this particular one appeared different, as if it held a secret. The mystery of this unique coyote remains unsolved, leaving everyone curious and longing for answers. How did it manage to climb that tree? That's the burning question on everyone's mind. It was an extremely rare event captured in this clip. The image of this puzzling coyote has stirred immense interest and curiosity. People are eager to understand this mysterious behavior, hoping it might uncover something new and intriguing about these creatures we thought we knew so well. It seems the snow-covered mountains hide more secrets than we could have ever imagined. Creepy humanoid. The home's CCTV captured a mysterious and eerie creature moving like a crab, walking on 4 bent legs across the road. Its appearance was unsettling and strange, leaving viewers puzzled about its identity. The sight was rare and enigmatic, sparking various speculations. Some thought it was a mutant dog, others suspected it to be a creepy alien. This moment filled anyone who saw it with fear and mystery. On the other hand, some strongly believed it resembled a ghoul, a demon-like or monstrous humanoid rooted in pre-Islamic Arabian religion. In modern stories, a ghoul typically refers to an undead humanoid creature that feeds on human flesh, quite horrifying and terrifying. However, the true nature of this cryptic creature remains a creepy mystery, giving chills to the camera operator and those nearby. The secret of this eerie being remains undisclosed, leaving everyone with a lingering sense of unease. ThreeEyed Creature. The camera caught a mysterious, uneasy clip. This video that was recorded is very cryptic and filled the air with spine-chilling and fear. In this video, the two friends are walking on the woodland. They wanted to test their new trail camera in these woodland. They faced the camera towards a spot where they thought wild animals might be left overnight. They returned to see what they'd caught on camera. When they come to check what camera had recorded, the friends were very shocked, and everyone who viewed this video also shocked and horrified. There was a creature with 3 glowing eyes hiding in the bushes. It was looking very unfamiliar and scary. That held those operators or viewers in suspense and terrified. The air was truly pervade, enigmatic and fearful. The 3 eyes of this creature or being was very eerie and frightened. They are glowing and illuminated. Is it was a paranormal creature or something else? This was looking very spooky. That was still hidden or unrevealed yet. No one can point out what it was. Mysterious night figure. On a dark and moonless night, a peculiar incident unfolded in front of a home security camera. The camera, a silent observer, recorded a scene that sent chills down the spine. It captured a mysterious sight on the front lawn, enveloped in an air of mystery. From the dark, an unknown figure emerged, moving in an unexpected way. The figure seemed bent over, like a ghostly shadow caught on camera. But what was unsettling was not just the posture. It was the distinct impression of age that clung to this mysterious being. Its stooped back suggested an elderly appearance, as if time had twisted its spine. Oddly, the figure moved urgently, darting about with an unclear purpose, leaving its intentions unknown. The night was draped in mystery, and this strange sight became the talk among concerned residents. Speculation spread, but no one could identify this mysterious apparition or understand why it ventured out into the quiet night. The figure vanished as suddenly as it appeared, leaving behind only unanswered questions. These mysteries continued to haunt the curious minds of those who dared to ponder the unexplained and inexplicable. Killer clown. A strange and unsettling video emerged from a deep forest, puzzling both the operators and viewers. They witnessed a spooky clown figure that made them feel uneasy. This eerie clown was seen walking among the trees, only visible through the night vision of the trail camera. Strangely, it seemed like the clown noticed the hidden camera and confidently moved toward it. The reasons behind this mysterious figure's presence remained unclear. Why would someone be in a forest at night dressed as a clown? Was it a ghostly being, or just someone with an unusual hobby for late-night forest walks? The unexplained nature of this odd encounter left everyone confused. In the midst of the dark forest at midnight, the clown's appearance created a genuinely eerie and unsettling atmosphere, prompting numerous unanswered questions. A bulldog versus mountain lion. In the midst of a rugged mountain, a trail camera captures a predator mercilessly hunting its prey on a quiet, eerie night. Unexpectedly, another fierce predator appears, observing the same scene. Initially, a wild lion is seen devouring its meal until a bulldog meanders into the perilous territory. While the camera focuses on the bulldog exploring the area with confidence, it remains oblivious to the lurking danger of a stronger, more cunning force watching its every move. Like a looming shadow, the eyes of the mountain lion fixate on the unsuspecting bulldog, waiting to pounce on the intruder. In a swift and silent move, the mountain lion leaps towards the bulldog, leaving the video's conclusion uncertain, whether the bulldog escaped or fell prey to the mountain lion's attack. The mysterious creature. The camera recorded something strange in the deep forest. It showed a creature hiding behind a tree, unlike anything anyone had seen. This mysterious being looked like a bird but was really unusual. Its face was spooky, with deep, dark eyes and a skull-like appearance without any hair. It made everyone who saw it feel puzzled and unsure. This creature was so different from anything known in the woods, making everyone suspicious and curious. The sight of this mysterious creature left people wondering and fascinated by its oddness. The forest kept this strange creature a secret, making sure nobody could figure out what it really was. Zombie moose. Deep in the rugged mountains, a camera captured an unusual sight. Two moose, quite different from the ordinary ones, strolled leisurely across a small grassy area. Their presence was mysterious, their movements like a silent dance. Their huge, plate-sized horns stretched out in all directions, giving them an enigmatic look, along with an abnormal growth of skin hanging from their neck that was exceptionally large. These moose were far from the usual. Their graceful, mysterious way of moving raised many questions. Their massive, ancient-looking horns carried an air of fascination. As the recording played on, one couldn't help but wonder about the secrets held by these eerie creatures. They remained an unsolved mystery for anyone who encountered them, waiting to be understood. In that mountainous territory, they stood as guardians of the unknown, leaving a curious impression behind. Demonic ritual. Walking through a dangerous forest on one of the darkest nights ever, the camera caught sight of a scary ritual with evil creatures. The traveler, terrified, had stumbled upon a satanic gathering by mistake. In the video, A huge figure with horns and bloody eyes stared menacingly at the scared traveler who interrupted the ritual. The tension and fear were palpable in the heavy breathing. Soon, the sinister beings noticed the intruder, and everything turned dark, making the ritual disappear suddenly. The demonic figure, along with his unholy followers, surrounded the traveler like a threatening shadow of death and despair. The camera quickly showed the traveler trying to escape. In the background, you could hear the traveler's terrified cries, which were drowned out by the wicked laughter of Satan and his followers, echoing through the night as they captured their victim. A mystic forest serpent. Picture wandering through a spooky forest where tall trees reach for the sky but appear faded and dull due to thick, enveloping fog. This fog shrouds the forest, creating an eerie atmosphere, a perfect hideout for scary creatures. Now imagine a scene captured by a camera in the real world. A web-like structure entwines the trees, resembling a colossal rope with spikes of green and yellow. This twisted rope varies in length, turning the forest into an intricate maze. Surprisingly, as the camera focuses on this strange structure, it subtly slithers, slowly coiling around the trees. Amidst eerie noises and darkness, the camera continues to explore the size of this enormous rope, only to be interrupted by a massive snake. A serpent nearly 20 feet long, consuming the life out of those trees. This mysterious creature possesses a skull-like head with deeply hollow eyes, sharp teeth unlike any other anacondas seen before. It appears poised to engulf its prey in one swift motion, leaving no trace behind. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video entertaining, don't hesitate to show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for even more thrilling content. And remember to ring that notification bell to ensure you're always in the loop for our latest updates. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned.